Safety. Not just a word, but a feeling. To feel safe. While constantly exploring new lands, cultures, and people, this can be a hard feeling to attain. Mariscos Campo Don Alvaro seemed an oddity at first, a seafood restaurant offering free camping to travelers.
This is quite an amazing surprise. I was a bit worried. We decided to go safe and to be in places that were indicated by previous travelers, and that looks actually wonderful.
When we first arrived, we ate a dinner of fresh fish and oysters and inquired about camping. Our waitress told us the entire area was safe, the beach, the designated camping spots in the parking lot, and she even offered the volcanic rock beachfront yard of her brother's house. This is where we settled for the night. The following morning, we packed up and headed 5 hours south before realizing we had forgotten a crucial piece of camera equipment. So we reached out on Facebook, and they promptly replied, finding and safeguarding the camera until we could return. We did so 2 days later, feeling this would be a nice opportunity to learn more about life in the area. We spent 3 days in the campo, getting to know the family and the history of the small community. Mauricio, one of Don Alvaro's 11 sons, owns one of the 3 family seafood restaurants on the beach with his wife Mariela. All 3 restaurants sit side by side, overlooking the volcanic beachfront. The women of the family laughed with us, calling each business a competition. Pointing to a seemingly abandoned shack, they told us, "That one is always closed," laughing with Araceli about her often closed small restaurant. I enjoyed myself tremendously in the presence of these women. From their simplicity and humility to their contagious, genuine happiness and laughter. The kitchen seemed to be the women's territory. Some played games on their phone, one got her hair colored, while others gossiped in laughter about the happenings of the village. All the while, the kids and grandkids came and went. Mariela picked up on our curiosity and the spirit of our journey. And soon, we were in the back of a pickup truck. On our way to an oyster farm. We were guided by Mariana and Fernanda, 2 of the family youth.
Mariana y
Fernanda.
Francisco, another of the Alvaro brothers, gave us a tour of one of the many oyster farms in the Bay of Volcanoes.
Here they have a different size, so they come out of here, and then the bigger ones come out of here.
He took such pride in his work and knowledge of the sea passed on by his father.
He says that in the summer people swim actually in here, and since he was born, he's known here the culture of oysters.
On Wednesday, we finally got to sit down for an interview with Don Alvaro, the patriarch of the family.
Oh, really? Sí. Wow! Sí. We can meet Don Alvaro.
From his front porch, mobile but seated in a wheelchair, he showed us a collection of starfish recently gathered by his grandchildren. At first, he seemed hesitant answering questions, but he slowly shared more with us. Don Alvaro arrived in the Baja Peninsula more than 50 years ago, settling on a small chunk of land now known as La Chorrera. Back then, there were no roads or houses in the area, just sand dunes and volcanic rock, 20 kilometers away from the nearest town, San Quintin. Alvaro first bought a car, but with no roads, the car was quickly replaced with a bicycle. So he rode the sandy and at times muddy distance between San Quintin and La Chorrera on a bike, carrying water and supplies with every trip.
Mucho problema por agua.
A lot of
Agua
problems
para
for
tomar.
water.
When asked about the initial settlement, Don Alvaro grinned and answered with pride. The first house was made of cardboard, including the roof, which weathered many storms. For as long as he can remember, Alvaro has welcomed travelers on his land. Gradually, dirt roads were traced, houses and businesses were built. Today, Don Alvaro lives amongst his extended family, forming the community of La Chorrera, some 60 households. He told us about the many coyotes he hunted in his younger days, as they would come in packs and kill his smaller dogs.
Coyotes comen a los perros, chiquillos.
Now, the Campo's larger dogs give the alert when coyotes are around, and they prevent them from coming near the households. Zil found himself at home, making new four-legged friends. some which followed us, or rather guided us, during our 3-hour hike in the Suroeste crater.
And a few creatures were collected on the road.
We were encouraged to hike one of the craters from the volcanic route in the Punta Mazo Natural Reserve.
And this was our morning hike. We made it to the top of the crater in La Chorrera, an old volcano. The view is quite stunning.
All the volcanoes have well-maintained trails, and a couple of nice overlooks are within short walking distance from the restaurant. When asked if there was anything in his life he wished he had done or could do, Don Alvaro told us he was content with his life. He's living in a place he cherished, surrounded by his family, 11 sons and a daughter, his grandchildren.
Unos tontos y otros locos, pero todos comen.
He said, just that some of them are a bit crazy, but they come to eat.
He would not know what more to ask from life.
Muchas gracias, Don Alvaro. Muchas gracias.
Aquí estamos, cuando vengan, aquí estamos.
When you come, when you come, we
A
are
la,
here.
a la hora que sea, en la noche, o cualquier...
No matter the time in the night, we are here.
To get to Campo Mariscos Don Alvaro, you can expect a 30-minute drive on dirt and sand roads from Highway 1. It is accessible by most vehicles, but has a couple sandy dunes that are only passable coming downhill from the north. To exit the establishment, you will need to take the road to the south and west of the volcanoes, which adds a few extra minutes. We hope you found this post useful and enjoyable. And as always, we wish you a beautiful awakening.